Hello friends, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. We're going to do a typing demo today for this 1965 Royal Custom. Did I say demo? This is a tutorial. So this is not the original color of this typewriter. Rob painted this for me and love the red. It's beautiful with the white and black front of this. Again, this is a 1965 version, and this is just a tutorial to show you how to use this in case you come across one or you have one. And it doesn't have to be the exact year. If your typewriter kind of looks like this tutorial will be helpful for you. So go ahead and grab your typewriter if you've got it and set it out, and let's go along with me. And we're just going to start with the back and make our way forward. And thank you so much for being here. I always forget to ask this, but if you would just like and subscribe to this channel, that really does help me so much. And bookmark it because we have so many things. I have taken some off just because they were old, but I have done over 800 tutorial videos on typewriters. Actually, to be honest, I have done almost 2,000, but most of them are not on the YouTube or they're not public. But go ahead and bookmark it because you may find something that is going to be really helpful for you. And then be sure to visit our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com for ribbons, typewriters. We have non-slip typewriter pads. We've got backing paper. We've got vintage typing paper. And then I want to invite you to our Saturday morning post email that I send out every week. And it's short, but it has our latest listings plus just some thoughts that I have that are relevant to typewriter enthusiasts. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So this has the magic margin set on it. And actually, if you are brand new to typewriters, let me explain a couple of things first. First, this is the carriage of the typewriter, and you're going to put your paper here, and then you're going to press the keys. It's going to type on it, but you have to kind of change your thinking from the computer. You have to actually manually set your margins. This one does have a tab option on it. It's called columns. And then you have a return handle. You don't have a return key down here. It's a handle that you have to manually return. And what that does is it takes you to the next line, plus, then it takes you to the beginning as well. So to get started, you're going to want to, first of all, load some paper. And with vintage typewriters, I always recommend, unless your typewriter won't feed through it, I always recommend either 2 to 3 pages or using one of our backing papers. It's a thicker paper. It's lined to help you center and do margins. But this protects your plate, and it also changes your typing experience. So it can make it smoother. You'll just have to type with it and see. So you put your paper right past this metal plate, turn it with there's the knobs here on the side, and I like to bring it up till the two ends meet. And I make sure that they're nice and even, and if not, you have a paper release lever right here on the right side, and you just pull that forward. That loosens things up, and you can kind of make sure it's nice and even. Then we can go and set our margins, and you can see, well, my margin is way outside of my paper, and with this backing paper, I can see, you know what, I want my margin right here. I have a line there for you. And with the magic margin, then all you do is press, and now my margin is set, and you can kind of see that it's set there. And then let's come over here, and again, here's the line I want to line it up with, but it's stuck right there. It's not going past because that's where the margin is set. So to release that and set a new margin, there's two things, or really one thing you're going to do. Well, two, press down on the magic margin, but while you're holding that lever, you're going to release your carriage, and I'll show you that button here, that lever here in a second. I'm holding it down still, and then I've got it nice and lined up. I'm going to release, and now my margin is set. So to move your carriage, there is this silver lever on each side, and it really doesn't matter which one you press in because it just does, you can do both or one. And that's going to it's going to release your carriage, and it should pull to the left. That's normal. If it doesn't, that means your drawband is broken and you will need a typewriter repair person. You can, do a Google search and find them. I also do have a incomplete, but there is some options on our website. If you just do like / typewriter repair directory, that brings up typewriter shops by state. So also your handle is can be pushed down or up. So when you have it in your case, if yours came with the case is a little more narrow. And what it does is you want to push that handle down and it'll stay down when you put it in the case. However, when you're ready to use it, you need to lift it up so you don't scratch the top of your typewriter. So again, here's your carriage. The carriage will only move as far as you have the margins set. Now we covered this is the paper release. That's the carriage release. Over here, we have the line selector. Right here, the outside lever. So that's single. We've got double. And I think that's it on that one. Yeah, I think this one only has single and double. This upper lever is going to release your roller here. It's also called the platen, and that's for variable spacing. So when it's engaged, you can hear it clicking. And sometimes, like if you're using lined paper, you want it to line up exactly right. And so you can either pull that forward and then line things up exactly where you want, or there is a button on the left side of the handle in the middle of it, and if you feel, you can press it and you can feel it going in and out. That does the same thing, but you have to hold it while you're turning for it to release. Okay, so that is your carriage. Now I'm going to move the carriage to the left and make sure my handle is well clear of the top, because we're going to open this up and look inside. So just take your hand in the middle area here, give it a pull. And now you can see inside of your typewriter. So you've got your typing basket here with your type bars. This is the vibrator. This whole area is the escapement area. This takes universal ribbons. If yours doesn't come with spools, you can use a universal ribbon. These have some metal spools with fresh ribbon wound on them. Now we do have that option in our shop. If you have original spools but you want fresh ribbon, just look for our custom ribbon option. And when you send in your spools, then we'll put fresh ribbon on it and send it back. Okay, so when you do put in your ribbon, black is on top, red is on bottom, and you'll notice, let me lift it up here. You can do a screenshot or pause it, and you can kind of see how Rob has that threaded through. Just to let you know, it is messy to change out your ribbon, so you want to either wear gloves or like what I do, I just keep a damp cloth nearby. Thread it through there. You want to make sure you thread it through like this. I call these the double barrel things, but thread them through, and then it goes over the top, around, and underneath. Same with this one. The ribbon will go over the top, around, and underneath. Now, the ribbon has lots of ink in it, so when it's going around, you're going to get to the end, and that's not the end of the ink in your ribbon. You want to reverse the ribbon, and you do it with these. So right now I've reversed it, and I'm going to go back. And you just go back and forth, and you just keep typing until you type out all of the ink in your ribbon, and then you can just pull them out, put on fresh ribbon if you want. Again, make sure it goes through all the guide wires. And then you're ready to go. So again, black on top, red on bottom. We do have some ribbon changing videos. Check our playlist for changing ribbons. And even if it's not your exact model or anything, just watch a couple and you'll really get a good idea of how ribbons are changed on typewriters. So we're going to go ahead and put this back on. You'll notice it's got two pointy ends here, and there's little holes right in there, and that's where they're going to go. So just line those up and then press down, it should snap in place. Okay, so here we go. And then you'll notice I got a little bit of ink on here, but just a damp cloth will get that off. We also keep magic erasers on hand to help clean off ink and dust and dirt off of our typewriters. Okay, so let's make our way down here. You can see the Royal, the R with the swoop on it, the logo, and the magic column set. So we had the magic margin. Now we have the magic column, and column is another word for tabs. And so we've got the clear, and we have the set. So let's go ahead and set. Let's see if we have any. So we have several that are set, and that happens a lot. If you buy a typewriter, you'll notice that there's like tabs like every single space. So what you want to do is you want to clear that, and to clear all of them at once, you hold in your column clear, and then you move your carriage to the end. I do it a couple times just to kind of, you don't need to, that's just me. And then it should clear all of them. So there they are, they're all clear. Now I've got my line here in the very center of my paper. My backing paper is lined, so it tells me you are sent where I should be centered. So I am gonna set a column right there. And it should, when I hit the column button, it should stop right in that middle. Voila. And you may wonder why I put my hand here when I hit tab. Some of these vintage typewriters, the tabs sometimes work and sometimes don't. And when it releases that carriage, it goes flying. And if it flies past your tab stop or your column stop, one, it's really jarring on the typewriter, so I just keep a hand there. And two, if you have a mug or a glass or a vase or something, it's going to go flying too. So I have broken a few mugs that way, and that's why I'm in the habit whenever I hit tab, I just put my hand there because I'm never quite sure what's going to happen. Okay, let's go ahead and keep working our way down. So over here we have touch control. This just determines how hard your type bars strike the paper. And there's two ways to adjust the tension of your type bars on the paper. One is with this LMH, just low, medium, high, or whatever. But the best way is with your fingers. So it really does make a difference how light or how hard you type. You hit these keys. So my husband has a very heavy hand, and so sometimes it feels like he's just typing right through the table. And I have a very light hand. So you can adjust the tension and how dark or how light your type is just with your fingers. And that just comes with experience and getting to know your typewriter and what it likes and what you like. And then you will, just subconsciously come up with what is perfect for you. But if you want a little bit of adjustment, that is what that is for. Also, here's your backspace. So backspace does not erase, it just backspaces. And then we have, your space bar here. Margin release is for when you get all the way to the end, and let's say you're in the middle of a word, and unlike a computer, when you get to the end of your margin, it doesn't go to the next line. It just stops. And so margin release will release that. And so in case you want to finish that word or thought, whatever you want there. And then your return handle. Also down here is your color selector. So on the top is red. The middle here is black, and the bottom is an S, and that's stencil setting. That means when you hit your key, you're going to see the type bar. It looks like it's striking the paper, and it is striking the paper, but what you'll notice is the vibrator isn't going up. So it's not striking the inked ribbon, it's only striking the paper. So if I put it on black, now watch the vibrator. That's lifting the ribbon up, and so now it's striking the ribbon and imprinting the ink on the ribbon. So that is what that stencil setting does. So two things to look for if you're typing and it's getting the font is getting faint. Two things. Sometimes this gets bumped. make sure, and so you're typing and you're like, it's just not showing up. Make sure that this is on a color. And the second thing is reverse the direction of your ribbon, because sometimes when you don't realize you're at the end of your ribbon and now it's not imprinting. And so you need to reverse your ribbon. Okay, well, I hope you found this helpful. I know these tutorial videos are long, but I want them to be detailed for those of you who need it. Thanks so much for watching, and you have a blessed day.